places that were unbelievable. He opened my eyes sometimes to the ridiculous stuff that I know he did that on purpose. He did, yeah. He told me to cha-cha, and ever since I've loved to dance. Alistair had a voice and loved to sing. Music poured out of him. To help people on our travels. In Sri Lanka, where we've gone, he took me because I was in a terrible state. Here I am in this terrible state again. With him, whenever he travelled. We went to Trincomalee. Alistair loved to dive. He was always diving. And we met this little boy. He was 10 years old. He was the son of a fisherman, but he was blind. He had cataracts, and he couldn't see. It just so happened while we were there, this bus, the Russians came over. It was a charity, but they were charging. They were eye specialists. So Alistair picked him up and took him, and paid for all his treatment. Took him home. We stayed the time, and 3 days later, the bandages were removed. And I watched my brother's face, and it was stunning. I was crying, and he was just looking. He was in awe of what this child was looking at. We left him, but we never ever forgot him, because we visited him quite often after that. And again, we went back to Sri Lanka, this time with Suzanne and the family, and we met this girl. An oil lamp had fallen on her, and she was burnt. And she was terribly burnt. Her arms couldn't go like this. They were stuck. One of her legs was stuck to her, the tire was stuck to her groin. Again, Alistair took her. And by the time we finished paying her bills, she was walking and she'd gone to school. She's writing. Her arms are full. We didn't realize how generous the man was. But I did, because I was there and I saw it. He was very frugal. He'd make a cup of tea in the microwave to save money. He was swimming, so you could have a bath. And he was my brother. And today I think I'm going to miss him. But I know I've got to let him go. But these are the memories which I cherish. The people of Sri Lanka are, as I say, watching right now, and they're pouring their love. They had a ceremony on Friday and Saturday in their temples, and food was handed out to all the poor people in the name of our brother. So he was much loved, and he really was. So to you, my brother, I give my love. You have left me with love, and that's okay. And these words are from me to you. Nothing is as strong as gentleness. Nothing is gentle as real strength.
Well,
My brother. Oh, God. Oh, this is from Malcolm. How much time have we got? Malcolm, please. Right, now I've got to start again. Oh my God.
But leave those in the right place.
Oh yes. Lord. Right. No, we're only kidding again.
Boss.
Alistair. I met Alistair in 1979, 30, I can't even see this. 37 years ago, when I met the Kane family. It was clear to me that he loved children. My children loved him, and he loved them. Over these years, he showed them. He showered them. Oh, he showed them that getting something cheap was a top priority. The latter years I saw him more and more, mainly because he would come over to go car booting with Denise. However,
He began to chat more and more to me. He was showing more generosity in different kinds, including of spirit. Recently, when Denise was away in Canada, he cooked food for me in his flat and brought it to my home on the bus for me to have over a couple of days. He did this several times as he knew I did not cook much. He loves scrumping Victoria plums from my neighbour's tree by reaching over the garden fence, and somehow coincidentally the neighbour has only just taken the tree down. Now he's gone, he's gone. I knew he was keen on swimming. Here we go. All right. Especially scuba diving in the Indian Ocean. To go spearfishing. Many of the time he would buy diving equipment to bring it over. It always needed some repair, so my sheds full of tools would be very useful for him. He said to me that he would sell his bits in Sri Lanka, but I think that secretly he probably gave them away to nothing, for nothing. We all know that he loved cooking. He would come over and cook curry. He always used an ocean of cooking oil. This would end up with me serious heartburn. But it was always lovely because the kitchen would always have more food on it than the pan. So we always left a big cleaning job behind. But there was oh God, but there was his head. Then there was his head. At car boots, he seemed ordered to buy a shaver. And then at my place, I found that I always was shaving. At my place, I was always shaving his head. I think it looked grand. The last thing was at the bungalow, where he spent his last 9 days, and Denise and I wished him. I was near to the room that he was relaxing in. I walked into the wheelchair and ended up on the floor on my back with a large gash in my leg. Suddenly I looked up and saw Alistair standing up. Alistair standing up, supported by someone. He was standing still, peering down, with his eyes bulging, surprised at where I was. His eyes were massive. And he began, and he again looked like gangling. Goodbye, Alistair, for now. Malcolm. Now, Sue's going to say
But the only trouble is, I lost my doctors. Oh, where they are.
I lost my bag.
I'm going to read some memories about some Pats because he can't read them. And so these are all Pat's memories. I've always enjoyed coming to our house, always with a delicious curry. I think we're all going to remember his delicious cooking for Mari and me. He liked helping Mari with her computer, but she needed her help. Most times got it wrong. We loved the same sort of music and went to see several top artists like Ella Fitzgerald, Oscar Peterson, Tony Bennett, Count Basie, and old blue-eyed Frank Sinatra at the Albert Hall. Alistair at school was very athletic. I always remember watching him come back from a 400-metre race to win, beating much older boys and bigger boys after school sports day. And again at rivals Victoria, and again at rival school Victoria on their sports day. I reckon he won to get to the food first. Al, we will be missing you by all of us, but you will always be in our hearts and our thoughts. As sad as this family gathering is, I think we should all be celebrating Al's life. He lived it full and left us with many memories. I'm sure that with each of us there is a particular memory that is close to our hearts, that we can share, hopefully, with each other. Things perhaps I never knew, or you never knew, or we could laugh about. He had a dry wit, and of course his cooking was delicious. The last meal I had with Al was in Spain, where we were invited over to a friend's villa, and the husband loved cooking, so he taught the husband how to cook this absolutely delicious curry, and everyone was really impressed. And of course, because everybody was impressed, I was really proud of my mother being the best cook, apart from Anne, who's also a good cook. I remember Denise telling me about going to a dance with him at some posh hotel. And they had entertainment, and it was a meal, and some chap called, what day?
Colin D.
Colin Day was the main artist, the singer. Anyway, he stopped singing, and they were just playing music, and Denise and Al got up to dance. And the song they were playing was Besame Mucho, which one of my favourite songs, anyway. And he started singing it to Denise. And I think he must have got carried away because he forgot where he was. And at the end of the song, everyone clapped when they stopped. Of course, Denise was embarrassed until everybody clapped. And then she was so proud of him because he did have a lovely voice. And we're so lucky because we have a CD of him singing. Also, I must mention the car we sell, because that was, I think, the main issue. We used to call them the king and queen of car boot sales.
And the reduced buys.
Did it tell you that? If only was 50p and you got it for 25p, that was brilliant. And sometimes I think the stole people used to get so fed up they used to say, yeah, you can have it. And he's the only person to take a fish, this is in Sri Lanka, into a restaurant and ask them to cook it for him. And funny enough, they did. He wouldn't buy the food, they just go in the restaurant and say, do you think you can cook this fish for me? And they would. And of course he loved bargains. And he's definitely a money saver. He's the only one I know that tried to boil a kettle on the pilot light of his cooker. And when he woke up in the morning, he would have water for tea. I love travelling with Al. And of course his favourite place was Sri Lanka, and the first time I ever went there was with Al. And he showed me really adventures that I would never really done. I'd have gone to a hotel, stayed at a posh hotel, and just laid on the beach. But he showed me that you can bathe in the waterfall because there was no shower or toilet. So you had to bathe in the waterfall, or you had to go down the jungle to a well and wash from the well. And then he took me on a elephant safari in a jeep. And we went to the baby orphanage and saw them coming from the jungle and being fed, and walked along the beach. It was like paradise, and we'd eat from banana leaves, curry and rice with our fingers, which things I'd never ever done. And then we'd sit in the evening and we'd listen to the sound of the jungle and watch the flying fox hanging off the mango trees. And we went swimming once, and it was so clear the water, and I saw a shell down at the seabed, and we were snorkeling, and I pointed it out to Al. And to my amazement, he dived right down to this, it was really deep, and retrieved the shell, and it was a conch, and it was about that big. It wouldn't look that big, but by the time he got up, it was that big. I don't think it swallowed, but I think it was just, and there were things like that around that amazed me. And his kindness and his love. And there's so many happy memories that we have about. And I think that I'm relieved that Al is free.